Played for a while, and I'm level 7 now. And I've unlocked a decent amount of stuff. So I figured go into it a little bit more, since now I know actually quite a bit more about the game. And obviously, like, there's 3 companies that you can see on the left side. And these are the ships I've unlocked so far. And then they have all the way down to here. Thing that I found out is this basically is a battleship. Not, you know, you'd expect for like in the water kind of battleship. So is this, just the higher level version of it. It's the main difference. Um, the main difference between the levels is level 1 you just upgrade your stuff that you have, and that's pretty much it. This I can show you is that you upgrade to level 2 and everything, of course. But here's where it gets different. That obviously sees a different icon than that. Same thing for these two. And you know, that as well, and this are different from these. Well, it makes a very interesting thing you could deal with, which is, for example, this ship. It is more or less the healer class ship. The game still has some obvious glitches, because like it's not just this ship, but this particular thing. Obviously, I researched it; it's unlocked. They try to go buy it, it says -1, and obviously you can't do shit about it, because you know, you try to go to it, buy it, something went wrong. Would have been nice if obviously if that freaking worked. But either way, this is actually more or less optional, because realistically, it's a very short-ranged weapon, more or less. I don't know how powerful it really is, because I've honestly not really gotten the use for it, because this ship obviously wasn't meant for close-range combat, pure and simple. But that's what that's for. It has its main weapon, which can obviously be used to heal and damage enemies. This helps amplify the damage output or healing output, whatever. But this and that and this are all entirely different things from what, you know, healing of what it should do. This helps keep it alive. This just generates extra power, which helps, you know, you generate your energy to be able to use force field or your thrusters to get the hell away from everybody, you know, so you don't die. Uh, this more or less is like a kamikaze ability, because you don't personally blow up and die, but you're so damn close you might as well, because at that point, if you really were trying to get that close just to use the ability, yes, it might do some actual real damage, but the problem is it's not a big enough blast that you can be at least 1,000 meters away. And when it comes to a game where you're dealing with ships, 1,000 meters really isn't that far away at all. And it can't even get that far, so that's why it's an extremely limited thing, but it's very powerful. Again, this is right here, just like the other thing, short range, but it is missiles. It does go at least 1,000 meters or more. I'm not sure how much actual damage it does, because when I hit someone with it, they're a heavy ship anyways, so you're not going to notice it as much. And this is kind of an interesting thing. It's more or less a pod you shoot out that more or less floats around like a landmine. I'm not sure how long it actually lasts. It says 45 seconds, but realistically, like, if it's anything like the stupid other thing, like the health pod, because I think this one takes up the place of, it doesn't really go that far out at all. So again, just like the kamikaze thing, not really worthwhile unless you really want to get that damn close to the enemy and hope that they don't fucking kill you. But the reason why I like this game is that the fact that it gives you options for a ship like this that's not meant for that sort of deal. And then here's something I did find out, which would have been nice to know. There's this other ship that's more or less shaped like this one. Has generally on the same abilities, but this one's a bit different. It says anti-missile lasers, and then this is basically it has turrets that shoot at ships that are close by, which that's pretty fucking close by. And then it actually has missiles. The other one doesn't really have missiles. It just, has its main laser and some defensive stuff. And this one has a mobile cloak, so you can actually move. But the main difference between the two, as far as I've seen, is this right here and its main cannon. You can literally shoot in any direction, and you have full mobility of how you want to play when you're attacking. With the other ship that's like this, the same icon as you see right next to its name on the left side, it's really limited. You have to be aiming the front of the ship directly at the enemy, or pretty close. Otherwise, you're not shooting anything. And I don't even know if it has a side weapon, to tell you the truth. But it has, like that one, like I said, where it has like a range of stuff you could do with it, but it can do about as much damage as the other one. But the difference is it's multiple blasts of lasers that are really fast at firing that more or less can do as much damage as the other one, assuming you hit every single shot. This is the other version of the ship, where, like I said, I guess it does have turrets, but still, I've never really seen them being used. Anyways, the point is, see, it looks a lot alike, but this one, like, you have to stay still. You have to hurry up, get near an area, and then go invisible and shoot. But realistically, your stationary cloak at that point is only good for this, which basically is like a supercharged blast, which will do a shitload of damage. So in that sense, it does give you time to aim. Like a surprise attack. While the other ship that's like this one, but not a heavy one-shot kind of deal like this is, because this one's like a blast, wait to recharge, blast, wait to recharge, blast. Just that one. This one obviously heavily relies on, accuracy. Not sure if it's even broadcasting right now, because it's saying something like internet's being crappy. But yeah, I just like how it varies on the ships. Like some of the ships obviously resemble the other ones on the one of the three companies you choose for ships, except for this one. It's a tiny ship, which I'll show you. It's this ship right here. It's this tiny little ship, and it's it's actually supposed to be a main ship. It's not like the other ships. Supposed to be small and agile, but like see the front has like these big ass Gatling gun things, which they really do shoot like regular machine gun would. But apparently they can shoot lasers too, which I've never seen anyone honestly use them. But basically, it's a ship to screw around with your enemy. Like to intentionally draw their attention to distract them while your teammates are already firing at them with their heavier ships. And this should be used to obviously distract them long enough so that the main bigger ships can obviously take them out. But this one can do some mild damage with its little bit of arsenal it does have, because it has its main gun, which is a machine gun, laser thing, which I've never seen anyone use, and a torpedo. It's only one. Well, the other ones get like a few of them, but it's supposed to be a pretty decent, powerful one. But it has like two abilities to help it take off quickly and get the hell out of there. So like if one's obviously already been used, you can use another one to get the hell out of there. But obviously it's very lightly armored ship. It's just meant for quick get in there, get out, because it is pretty generally hard to target kind of craft versus everything else, which is huge and easy to hit. See, this is the one I was talking about that's like a battleship. I modded, yeah, modified it a little bit because it doesn't normally look like this. But as you can generally see, for the most part, it has those turret things on the top. It has some on the bottom, but you can't really see it in this camera angle. See, this is the alternate version of that one I told you about. It has the heavier shots. And it's pretty convenient because, like, you see on the top, it has a little turret thing right in the center on top. That's its actual main weapon. I don't know why its front end looks like that, because that, to me, reminds me of, like, this older school, like, battleship kind of blaster thing that formed in its mouth, or something you've seen out of an anime where it formed the energy right there in that mouth area and then charge up and then blast, like this big ass blast. But ultimately that's purely just for freaking looks. It's really stupid, but that's really what it is. And that wheelwright thing right there, generally more or less, that's pretty much its main engine. So if you do like your charge attacks or whatever, siege ability. Try to get to the back of it again. But like it's more of a sniper class kind of ship. Either version doesn't matter, because again it has very little armor. This basically is a long-range destroyer ship. I altered its look because obviously right there the warheads up front will come out of there. And towards the middle of the ship, there's like these blasters that it has, which is secondary weapons. And it's a pretty heavy ship. Like, it's definitely slow, obviously, but they obviously did decide to have one obvious thing. It by default has warp jets, which is phenomenal. Its later on thing it can have is just boosted defense. You know, basically it's a temporary boost of defense by 80%, which obviously could be helpful. But realistically, wouldn't you rather just get the fuck out of there by using your warp jet? Jump, whatever. On the side, I just remember now what that is. It's actually these. And those are only energy like blast like, weapons that shoot out the side and can only obviously attack enemies on your sides. But more or less what I've discovered is you can't just simply drive on by someone and just fire the end. No. You have to actually look at them with your targeting, and you'll hear somebody on your ship say something about being locked on or something about those weapons, and then you can fire, and it will definitely aim for them. But if you don't hear that, you just randomly shot some fireworks off and hopefully it hit somebody. But if you use it correctly, it could be a very, very effective way to take out ships that are the same heavy armored as this ship is, or any other heavy armored ship. So that's why if you can use the warp jump effectively, this is a pretty badass ship. Because, you could quickly jump in there, spam your abilities, and just annihilate the hell out of this crap out of them. And if they're obviously close by, you could use your sub weapon, the repeater guns, which honestly this ship right here, the repeater guns are easily the best guns to take out the damn little ship that I showed you, because that little ship is a pain in the ass to hit, and more or less the other ship that actually can hit it or knock it down pretty fast is, ironically, the healing ship. Because the healing ship, it's a laser, so it's a constant stream of damage. And as long as you keep your retinal on it, it dies pretty fast. Or lose a lot of health, pretty consistently. any other ship's blasters, like this main ship's blasters, any other ship blasters, it's pretty slow firing, and you just have to hope that the ammunition shoots fast enough to generally hit them. The Peter guns on this, the ammo does shoot pretty fast off, so it can try to catch up with the ship and try to shoot them out of the sky. And so that's why this ship is easily one of the best ships to get rid of that little bastard of a ship. Annoying side thing about the game though is, let's say you're on Horde mode or whatever the hell they want to call it. By the way, this is the healing ship. Again, I modified it a little bit on its looks. See the little turret thing on the side? That's to go for the its secondary weapon, but since this ship's a little bit glitched on the way they made it, you know, you can only do level 1, the level 2 one, you guys can't buy it. And then the green little ball orb thing on right behind it, and then the other ones that have a ball likeness to it, they are all little turrets that can allow you to aim in any direction and shoot, even with your ship not looking that direction, and even if they're underneath you. So you don't really have a blind spot, because like right there on top, if they're right directly above you, you can heal them just fine. And those things are obviously on the side toward the front, and the back are pretty much almost already facing upwards anyways. But like I was saying, let's, you know, I guess go to co-op, go to Havoc mode or Horde mode, whatever. You have to do wave after wave, and obviously try to get as far as you can. But the good but bad part is, let's say you die, and obviously there's only like one guy left, or two, whatever. It doesn't matter. Someone has to be alive with their main ship that they started with. They allow you to choose these mini ships to try to come out there and quickly help them out. They're very fast moving ships. You can easily get to where your friends are. You don't have to use your boosted thrusters or nothing like that. But they heavily rely on you facing your ship directly aiming at the enemy. There's a few of them that have some leeway to aim off in other directions rather than right in front of you, which is great. They have maneuverability abilities, which literally are just, you know, like to dodge bullets. And I think one for one of the ships is to literally be able to just turn around real fast, like to do the maneuverability thing, but it also turn them around so you can just fly away. And then they might have one ability that actually is for some kind of offensive ability besides your regular turret. But still, those ships are horrendously weak as shit. And they're more or less meant to distract the enemy, in my opinion. One's supposed to be like this bomber, like a stealth bomber kind of deal. But the only thing I can think of, you're supposed to get above it and just try to drop bombs directly on top of it, if you can. People do actually play Team Deathmatch. Those are actually people to get on, you can actually play with. Just at night, apparently. Not so much. Depending about what hours you're getting on. Even on the weekend. Team Death Elimination, I've never been able to play it. I'm not sure what the hell the difference is, because, you know, as you can see, there's no description at all. This market thing is, in my opinion, fucking stupid. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be buying this ship or something, or if it's a specialty ship, or what the fuck it's talking about. Anyway, it's kind of cool part though about the marketplace is apparently you can exchange your experience points for GP, which is basically you pay with real money to get it, or you could use that, you know, experience points to go to that to actually buy whatever, or any kind of boosted perk, whatever crap, because you can have boosted points or whatever for so long. But realistically, your rank doesn't mean jack shit, as far as I know. Like, it doesn't. There's nowhere on there that tells you about here's your statistics, how good of a player you are, or whatever. It's just simply, yeah, you've played this much, we're now this rank. That's it. And your gold stars don't really help much except for when you're first unlocking your first tier crap, and that's it. Um, Character creation, I don't understand the real purpose for it.
Wearing that same outfit. We both know that personal appearance is important to the best captains. So, go to your quarters to smarten up.
Fucking stupid. But yeah, you can obviously choose whichever face you want. There's not a lot of selection. It's mostly just German-like guys, maybe an Asian guy, a black guy, obviously, and that's it. Like, there's a few different versions of themselves, but that's about it. You could somewhat choose what the hell they wear, but ultimately it's pointless. Like, there's no story thing that makes it necessary for you to have your pilot or captain, whatever, to have a certain specific look to him, because now he literally ever pops out or says anything. It's just someone on your crew that says something. But it's definitely gotten a pretty interesting game, because obviously you can upgrade your ships. They have 3 different companies which give you, like I told you, like ships that are similar to each other, but they have their own different way of playing with them versus the other version. Like, for example, there's this one ship that looks like the nav that I have, which is this. It looks like it, the non-modded version look to it, but it has an ability where it causes it to where if he shoots you with it, you can't see jack. It totally scrambles your ability to see, like if someone scrambles your, camera for your security system. You can still aim and shoot and whatever you want perfectly fine. Like, that totally works just as normal. How I found this out was the guy was super close as hell and did that to me, and I simply fired repeatedly in his direction because, again, he was super close, and I did kill him. So obviously it has obvious perks if you want to surprise attack someone, but realistically, if you did that, it'd make more sense to have this ship or the alternate version to be within, shooting range, and obviously helping you out with using its bombardment ability, which does heavy damage, and then you guys team up and obviously kill the ship real fast. Like, that kind of team up would be freaking perfect, but they just, I don't know, you don't really see the people actually do that. But yeah, just because of that and the whole idea that if you have different choices and all that, like, I really hope this game does get better and they obviously fix certain obvious glitches, which, for whatever retarded reason, more times out of any, it's always your secondary weapon that gets screwed up, where you want to buy it and you can't because it has that glitch on it. And certain ships, you really do need that secondary weapon to help keep you alive. This ship, not so much, obviously. But the nav, yeah, that definitely is useful to have that be able to be upgraded. Absolutely 100%. So you can also shoot that one asshole down. But, again, I can't. So I have to hit him a decent amount of times before he does go down, but he will go down usually pretty quickly. But if this was able to be upgraded, I'd be able to easily take him out and focus on the other ships that are nearby usually. So that's why it makes it a bit harder to take out multiple ships because of that, especially when that guy's around. But hopefully They fixed those little glitches, which honestly they're not hard glitches at all to fix. It's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, just like we'd rather focus on what we're trying to make the game into rather than what's already there, and make sure it actually functionally works. Also, part of why I made this video is to show my brother, because I want him to try to register for the game so we can possibly play together, because I don't know anybody personally that has the game. And obviously, as you can see, squad, you can obviously invite people. But alright, that's all I show for now. Alright, see ya.